If you are over the age of 60 and you go to bed tonight without watching this video first, you may be making a decision that costs you your life. I know that sounds extreme. I know you've heard health warnings before, but what I'm about to share with you is different because this is not about disease, not about genetics, and not about bad luck. This is about something you are doing right now, tonight, in the hours before you close your eyes. That is quietly setting the stage for a heart attack or stroke while you sleep. And the most terrifying part, most people who do this have no idea it is dangerous at all. They think they are relaxing. They think they are unwinding. They think they are being kind to their bodies. But according to data from the American Heart Association, nearly 50% of all fatal cardiac events in adults over 60 happen between the hours of 10 at night and 6 in the morning. Half while you sleep, while you are defenseless, while your family is in the next room. This video is going to show you exactly what those nighttime habits are, why they are so catastrophic for the aging heart and brain, and what you can do starting tonight, not next week, not after your next doctor's appointment, but tonight to dramatically reduce your risk. I am going to give you a step-by-step protective routine before this video ends. All I ask is that you stay with me, because what I reveal in the middle of this video, specifically habit number 3, is something that I believe is responsible for more silent overnight deaths in adults over 60 than almost any other factor. And it is something virtually no one is talking about. My name is Dr. Peter Delon. I'm a physician with over 20 years of experience in internal medicine and geriatric health. I have sat at the bedsides of patients who survived overnight cardiac events, and I have delivered the news to families who were not so fortunate. And in all my decades of practice, one pattern kept appearing again and again. The people who suffered heart attacks and strokes in their sleep were not always the sickest patients. They were often the ones who seemed fine, the ones who ate reasonably well, who exercised a little, who took their pills most of the time, but they had a handful of nighttime habits that were silently destroying the very system meant to protect them while they rested. I am sharing this today because you deserve to know what I have seen. Most doctors do not have 12 minutes to sit down and walk you through this in the exam room, but this information is not optional. It is urgent. Here is what most people do not understand about the sleeping body after age 60. Sleep is not passive. Your cardiovascular system does not simply rest when you lie down. It shifts into a complex biological repair cycle. Your blood pressure is supposed to dip. Your heart rate is supposed to slow. Your brain is supposed to clear out toxic waste accumulated during waking hours. When this process works correctly, sleep is the single most powerful form of cardiovascular protection your body has. But when it is disrupted, when certain habits interfere with this cycle, the result is not just poor sleep. The result is physiological chaos. Blood pressure that spikes instead of dropping, arteries that tighten instead of relaxing, blood that thickens instead of flowing freely. And in a body over 60, with arteries already stiffer, with a heart already working harder, that chaos can turn fatal within hours. What I'm about to reveal goes against what most people assume about sleep, and I want you to stay with me through every single one of these habits, because by the time we reach the number one most dangerous habit, you will understand why so many people never see it coming. Let's start with habit number 5, eating a large or heavy meal within 2 hours of bedtime. Now, I know you have heard some version of this warning before, but I want you to understand what is actually happening inside your body. Because when you truly understand the mechanism, you will never look at a late dinner the same way again. When you eat a heavy meal close to bedtime, your digestive system demands an enormous surge of blood flow. Your stomach, your intestines, your liver, they all require increased circulation to process what you just consumed. Your heart has to pump harder and faster to meet that demand. Your blood pressure rises at the exact moment it is biologically programmed to fall. A landmark study published in the European Heart Journal followed more than 100,000 adults over multiple years and found a clear, statistically significant link between late night heavy eating and nighttime cardiovascular events. The risk was especially elevated in adults over 60. And here's the part that never makes the headlines. Late eating dramatically worsens acid reflux in older adults. And acid reflux at night does not just cause discomfort, it can directly stimulate the vagus nerve, triggering dangerous arrhythmias and irregular heart rhythms that are far more likely to become life threatening in an aging heart. Margaret was 69 years old when she came to my practice. She complained of fatigue and occasional palpitations at night. She ate dinner every evening around 9 p.m., usually a large meal, and went to bed around 10:30. She thought she was fine because she had never had a cardiac event. A 24-hour heart monitor told a completely different story. Her heart was showing irregular rhythms repeatedly between midnight and 3 o'clock in the morning, every single night, right when her body was trying to digest a meal too large and too late. We shifted her dinner to 6:30, lightened the portion, and within 3 weeks, her nighttime rhythms had normalized. She told me, "Doctor, I had no idea I was doing that to myself every night." Most people don't. The rule is simple. Eat your last meal at least 3 hours before you go to sleep. Keep it light, keep the portions modest. Your heart will work less, rest more, and survive longer. Now, let's move to habit number 4. And this one surprises almost everyone I tell it to. Going to bed, even mildly dehydrated, after the age of 60, your body's natural thirst sensation becomes significantly weaker. You can be clinically dehydrated and feel almost nothing. Many older adults also intentionally limit fluid intake in the evening to avoid nighttime trips to the bathroom. I understand the logic, but here's the medical reality your comfort is hiding. When you are dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker, more viscous. Thick blood moves more slowly through your vessels. Slow-moving blood forms clots more easily. Now combine that with the natural slowdown of circulation during sleep, when your heart rate drops and blood pressure decreases, and you have created the ideal biological conditions for a clot to form. Travel to the heart, triggering a heart attack, or travel to the brain, triggering a stroke. A study published in the Journal of Cardiovascular Disease found that even mild dehydration raised the risk of nighttime cardiovascular events by more than 60% in adults over 55. More than 60% from something as simple as not drinking enough water. John was 75 years old, retired, in what he considered good health. He proudly told me he never drank water after 6 p.m. because he didn't want to wake up at night. One morning, his wife found him unresponsive. He had suffered an ischemic stroke overnight. A clot had blocked a critical artery to his brain. His blood work showed severely concentrated blood. Dehydration was a contributing factor. Robert survived, but he lost the use of his right hand permanently. He asked me to tell his story because he does not want anyone else to make the same choice. The fix is simple. Drink a full glass of water 1 to 2 hours before bed. Use the bathroom right before lying down, and keep a small glass of water on your nightstand. Do not sacrifice your blood chemistry for uninterrupted sleep. One bathroom trip is a far better outcome than a stroke. Now we are moving into the top 3, and I want you to understand something. Each of the remaining habits is more dangerous than the last. Habit number 3 is one that I believe is killing people silently every single night. Undiagnosed sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is a condition where the airway partially or fully collapses during sleep, causing breathing to stop, sometimes for 10 seconds, sometimes for 30, sometimes longer. And in severe cases, this happens hundreds of times per night. Each time breathing stops, oxygen levels drop. Each time oxygen drops, The brain triggers an emergency response. Stress hormones flood the body. The heart rate spikes, blood pressure surges, then breathing resumes, oxygen returns, and the cycle begins again, hundreds of times, while the person believes they are sleeping peacefully. Research from Johns Hopkins University found that untreated sleep apnea triples the risk of nighttime heart attacks and quadruples the risk of strokes. Quadruples. And more than 80% of moderate to severe cases in adults over 60 are completely undiagnosed. Warning signs include loud chronic snoring, waking up gasping, morning headaches, extreme daytime fatigue, and resistant high blood pressure. Donna was 66 years old. Her husband had moved to the guest room because of her snoring. She thought it was embarrassing, but harmless. One night, her oxygen level dropped so severely that she developed a dangerous arrhythmia. She woke up in the emergency room. The cardiologist told her she had come within minutes of not waking up at all. She now uses a CPAP machine, and her nighttime blood pressure dropped by 22 points. If you snore or wake up tired, no matter how much you sleep, please talk to your doctor about a sleep study. This is not optional. This is urgent. And I'll reveal something even more critical in just a moment. So stay with me. Habit number 2 is one that almost every adult over 60 is guilty of, at least occasionally, and the consequences are far more severe than most people realize. Skipping, delaying or mistiming blood pressure or heart medication. Blood pressure follows a precise biological rhythm across a 24-hour cycle. In the early morning hours, between 3 and 6 a.m., the body prepares to wake up. Cortisol rises, heart rate increases, blood pressure climbs. This is called the morning surge, and in people whose medication has worn off overnight, this surge can be catastrophic. Plaques inside the arteries can rupture under pressure, clots form, heart attacks and strokes happen. Studies published in The Lancet and replicated across multiple large clinical trials have shown that taking blood pressure medication at nighttime instead of the morning reduces the risk of cardiovascular events during sleep by nearly 45%. Nearly half. And yet, most prescriptions are still written as take once daily in the morning. Not because it is optimal, but because it is the default. I am not telling you to change your medication routine without talking to your doctor. I'm telling you to have that conversation. Ask your doctor specifically whether bedtime dosing might be safer for you. And in the meantime, never skip a dose. Never take it late by hours. And never assume that because you feel fine, your blood pressure is fine. It may be spiking to dangerous levels in the early hours of the morning, while you sleep completely unaware. Thomas was 69 years old and had been managing hypertension for a decade. He was what I call a casual complier, meaning he took his medication most days, but skipped it when he forgot or when he was traveling. He told me he figured one day here and there couldn't matter that much. One Tuesday morning, his wife called 911 at 4:30 a.m. Thomas had suffered a massive hemorrhagic stroke. He had skipped his medication 2 nights in a row. The morning surge hit with nothing standing in its way. Thomas spent 4 months in rehabilitation. He told me from his hospital bed that he would give anything to go back and take those 2 pills. Take your medication. Take it at the same time every night. Set an alarm if you have to. This is the single most controllable risk factor in this entire list. And now, the number 1 deadliest nighttime habit in adults over 60. The one I promised you at the beginning of this video. The one that I believe is responsible for more preventable overnight deaths than almost anything else. And the one that almost no one talks about because it doesn't look dangerous at all. Sleeping in a room that is too warm. I need you to stay with me here because I know this sounds almost too simple to be deadly, but the science behind this is absolutely bulletproof. When you sleep in a room that is too warm, above 72 degrees Fahrenheit, above 22 degrees Celsius, your body works continuously through the night to release excess heat. Blood vessels in the skin dilate. Heart rate stays elevated. You sweat, losing fluids and thickening your blood. Sleep becomes lighter and more fragmented. And critically, your blood pressure never achieves its natural nighttime dip. Research from Harvard Medical School and data published in the European Heart Journal have both identified elevated sleeping temperatures as an independent risk factor for nighttime cardiovascular events, particularly in adults over 60. But here's what most people do not realize: cold is just as dangerous. Temperatures below 60 degrees Fahrenheit, below 15 degrees Celsius, cause blood vessels to constrict sharply. The heart must pump against significantly higher resistance. In arteries already stiffened by age, this constriction can crack a plaque and trigger a heart attack within hours. The optimal sleeping temperature is between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit, or 18 to 20 degrees Celsius. This is not about comfort. This is about cardiovascular physiology. A room that is just 2 or 3 degrees too warm may feel perfectly fine. Your heart knows the difference. Now, let me give you the protective nighttime routine I promised. This is simple, it is affordable, and if you follow it consistently, research suggests it can reduce your risk of a nighttime cardiovascular event by more than 40%. At 6:30 in the evening, eat your last meal of the day. Keep it light, lean protein, vegetables, nothing heavy or fried. At 8 p.m., drink a full glass of water. Take your prescribed medications exactly as directed. At 9 p.m., begin winding down. No emotionally stimulating television. No stress, no arguments. Dim the lights. At 9:30 p.m., set your bedroom thermostat to 66 degrees Fahrenheit. Place a glass of water on your nightstand. If you suspect sleep apnea, sleep on your side. At 10 p.m., use the bathroom before lying down. Take any final medications, then take 5 slow deep breaths. Inhale, hold, exhale slowly. This activates the parasympathetic nervous system and signals your heart rate to drop naturally. This routine costs you nothing except attention, and the return on that investment is a cardiovascular system that is protected, not stressed, while you sleep. Your heart has been beating for you every minute of every day for 60, 70, 80 years. It has never asked for a day off, but the warnings are subtle, and most people are not listening until it is too late. You are not broken, but you must be intentional about these nighttime hours, because what you do in the last 2 hours before sleep shapes what your heart and brain experience for the next 8. I challenge you to follow this routine for 30 nights, just 30 nights, and I believe you will feel a difference in your energy, your morning blood pressure readings, and the quality of your sleep.